Congratulations on your purchase of a Fluval canister filter, one of the most effective aquarium filters available today. And whether it's the model 105, 205, 305, or the model 405, you'll find your new filter easy to use and install. Prior to beginning installation, read and follow all safety instructions. To begin the setup process, make sure you have all the parts. The parts list on the inside front cover of the instruction book identifies each one. Hosing, 2 rim connector assemblies, 4 suction cups, the intake assembly and suction cup bracket, the output nozzle, the aquastop valve, and the impeller cover and lid gasket. These are sealed inside a plastic bag to keep them moist. If you have the model 105 or 205, you'll also find an impeller shaft tool packed with your filter. The canister lid is also the pump housing. The pump and motor are sealed inside. The instant prime handle is on the lid. And here is the filter canister itself. The foam screen frame and the stack of media baskets are inside. Allow yourself about 30 to 45 minutes to set up and start your filter. You'll need heavy-duty scissors or a utility knife. And if your aquarium is unusually shallow, you may also need a hacksaw so you can cut the intake tube. Your first setup step is to decide where to place your filter. Remember, this is a gravity-fed system. For it to work properly, the canister base must never be more than 4.5 feet or 1.4 meters below the water level. The hosing must follow a straight path from the aquarium to the rim, with some slack, but no kinks or loops. The water level in your aquarium should never be more than 7 inches or 17.5 centimeters below the rim. Never install the filter above the water level. Once you know where you are going to place the canister, you can begin to prepare your aquarium. Place the 2 rim connector assemblies over the back edge of your aquarium. The rim connector assemblies are designed to fit most aquariums. Place one just above the spot where you want to position the intake tube. Make sure the intake tube is not going to be positioned close to an air source, like an air stone or an aeration device. Place the other rim connector assembly just above the spot where you're planning to position the output nozzle. Be sure the longer section of each rim connector assembly is on the outside of the aquarium. For extra stability, attach suction cups on one side, or the other, or both. Now you're ready to prepare the intake connections. When you hold the aquastop valve by its silver lock lever, the intake connector is on your left. Push one end of the hosing onto this connector. Push it all the way, as far as it will go. Then turn the lock nut to secure the hosing in place. You're going to need a length of hosing that will reach from the filter canister to the aquarium rim. Place the aquastop end of the hosing at the approximate spot where it will be positioned on the filter lid once the filter is installed. Stretch out the hosing so it rests over the intake rim connector assembly. At a spot about 4 inches or 10 centimeters beyond the aquarium rim, cut the hosing. Push the end you've just cut into the rubber connector on the intake tube. Push it in by at least 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters without twisting it. Now, Clip the suction cup bracket onto the intake tube and place the whole assembly in the tank. Make sure the strainer is at least 3 inches or 7.5 centimeters from the top of the gravel, and that the spot where the hosing connects with the intake tube is underwater. This is important. Being submersed keeps this connection watertight. If the tube is too long for the height of your tank, take the strainer off the assembly, cut the tube with a hacksaw, and put the strainer back on. Once you have the intake assembly properly positioned, press the suction cup against the glass. Position the top half of the rim connector assembly over the hosing and push it down until it clicks to lock the hosing in place. The remaining length of hosing will be used for the output connections. Push the factory finished end of the hosing onto the aquastop valve and turn the lock nut to secure it in place. Measure and cut the hosing just as you did for the intake connection. Stretch out the hosing so it rests over the output rim connector assembly and at a spot about 4 inches or 7.5 centimeters beyond the aquarium rim. Cut the hosing. Push the cut end into the opening at the top of the output nozzle. Be sure to push it in by at least 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters without twisting it. Place the output nozzle in the tank, about 3 inches or 7.5 centimeters below the water line. Again, the spot where the hosing meets the nozzle must be kept underwater for the connection to be watertight. Position the top half of the rim connector assembly over the hosing and push it down until it clicks to lock the output hosing in place. And your hosing connections are complete. To prepare the filter, open the canister by releasing the lift lock fasteners. Slide out the foam screen frame and lift out the stack of media baskets. This filter model, the 405, has 4 divided baskets. If you have a different model, you'll have a different number of baskets. Model 105 has 2 baskets, 1 with a tray. Model 205 has 3 baskets, 1 with a tray. The 305 has 3 divided baskets. As you separate the baskets, be sure to note which type of media was packaged at each level. This is the recommended media placement for basic filtration with the biomax and carbon supplied with your filter. Note that the carbon should stay in this porous bag. Thoroughly rinse each basket and all the media under running water to remove any dust. Once you have thoroughly rinsed all media and baskets, place the media in the baskets and restack the baskets with the media in the correct position. Leave a space of at least ½ inch or 1 centimeter free on top so the baskets will fit together properly. You don't need to put the rinsed media back in the same basket because the baskets, as you can see, are interchangeable. But you do want to put the media at the same level that it came in. If you prefer, you can select other media of your own choosing. Once the stack of baskets is filled, place the cover on top and slide the baskets into the canister. Next, give the foam screen frame a thorough rinse to remove any possible contaminants, and slide it back into the canister, flat end first. Before the lid can go back on the canister, there are 2 things to do.